Welcome to the Life by Design podcast, where Jessilyn and Brian Persson, struggling to align your financial goals or confidently invest in real estate as a couple?
That's why we created this podcast and the Riches, Relationships, and Real Estate program to help you build wealth and strengthen your relationship. Visit weekendwealth.ca to take our quiz and discover your real estate investor type. Let's create the life you deserve together.
Welcome to the special holiday edition of Life by Design, where we embrace the spirit of giving and reflect on the importance of showing your tenants, investors, and team how much you appreciate them. Real estate investing is a very social activity, so it's important to build strong, lasting relationships through gratitude and appreciation. So tune in as we spread some holiday cheer and commit to making a difference in our teams and beyond.
Yeah, and this is a real estate podcast. So the very first thing that we're going to talk about is our tenants, because we love our tenants and we really want to show them how much we appreciate them living in our properties and paying rent on time and keeping care of the property. And the funny thing is that it doesn't take a whole lot to make someone feel really appreciated.
Yeah, not at all. We've been gifting to our tenants for as long as I remember having tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And we originally started by giving usually gift baskets with different things in it. And then as we got to know our tenants more, we custom. So we knew like if someone was a tea drinker, we would buy them probably a basket with specialty teas or tea mugs. Or if someone really liked making a specific type of drink, we could custom a basket to that. Or if they had a little bit of a larger family, maybe it was a bunch of different kind of cookies and popcorn and treats. And then as time has gone on, we've morphed that a little bit, and we still do some gift baskets, but we've shifted it a little bit more to gift cards. And we like the experience. So we like to do dinner theater, movie tickets, restaurants. But then there are some families where they're, like I said, they're a little bigger. Maybe they don't have as much. So then we'll get them gift cards for grocery stores or Amazon, trying to make their life easier.
Yeah, and our personal portfolio is small enough that we can keep tabs on our tenants and understand what they have. But for our apartment buildings, I actually put it as a year-round job for our resident managers to watch the tenants and figure out what they need, so that they know what we can give them at holiday time. So all portfolio sizes, you can make it work, and you can discover a little bit of personality about your tenants to give like a very meaningful, like thoughtful gift.
Yeah, and all this is amazing to get through the holiday season because we all love gifting and giving through the spirit of the holidays. But we actually do this kind of throughout the year, depending on the situation. So like if we're going to interrupt a tenant's suite, we'll give them it's a smaller gift card. Like it's not going to be as big as what we would do during the holidays, but just as a thank you for, letting us enter your building, and maybe we had to go fix something, or maybe we're doing an audit to make sure like there's no leaky taps or things going wrong with the unit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big. Just a $10 gift card to Tim Hortons or Starbucks or McDonald's. Yeah, whatever you kind of know is important to them, and they really appreciate it. And it really breaks down the barriers of having someone, even though it's the owner of the property, having that someone enter their home, because the tenant, the place you're renting to the tenant is their home, so you have to be respectful of that. And just giving them a little thank you, like a gift card, just breaks down those barriers, and they're much less resistant to have you come in. And like you said, sometimes you're not actually fixing something, there's nothing wrong, but you want to make sure like your taps aren't leaking every year. That kind of little gift card can like eliminate all the resistance of getting in there and properly managing your portfolio.
Absolutely. And when it's a little more custom, like when they know, they're like, oh wow, like they got me a gift or a gift card to somewhere that I love, they're starting to go, oh wait, this isn't just my landlord. This is someone who actually cares enough to learn a little bit about me and gift back to me. And while you mentioned they're more open to opening their doors for visits and fixing, but I think they're also more apt to want to pay on time,
Yeah.
do good, because when you give people just naturally want to give back. And that's a easy way for them to give back. Pay their rent on time.
Yeah, that's called the law of reciprocation. So if you give first, people are naturally inclined to give back. And a tenant, might give back by taking care of the property better. They might give back by paying their rent early. There's all kinds of different ways that a tenant will figure out how to give back. But as a landlord, you should give first. And you as a landlord, you mentioned it just a second ago. You can give by giving your time. Uh, for example, I'm fairly responsive with fixes. So if there's a tap that's leaking, if there's a problem with the dishwasher, whatever it happens to be, I'm on top of it quite quickly. And the tenants really respect that because they feel like they're getting taken care of. And all it is like a little bit quicker response to their concerns, to the point where sometimes they actually just want to be heard and they don't actually need anything really fixed, or they're actually willing to do it themselves. So if you just go in there, make sure that your tenants understand that you're hearing them. Sometimes the problems just resolve themselves. So giving your time and giving your ear to your tenants is actually really important for having like a long-term successful tenant.
Absolutely. That all lends back into the whole communication, which we stand strongly behind. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Doesn't matter if it's your tenants, your investors, your team, your wife, your kids.
Yeah.
Just communicate. And there's just so much more comfort and ease in knowing that people can trust you're going to communicate to them and that they can openly communicate to you. And it leaves a lot less room for problems and errors and issues.
Yeah, over the years, I've built up sort of a bullet point list of expectations, and I try to get as many of them out at the beginning of the tenancy as possible. And one of the expectations that I have of my tenants is communication, and the way I phrase it to them is, if you think you're over communicating with me, you're probably communicating at just the right level for me. And what I want to do is I want to prep them like right before they move in to like make sure that they're communicating with me as much as possible, because that way I know what's going on in my suite. Uh, Generally, it ends up in a whole lot less cost and a whole lot less management for me. But to have them like right from the get go with the expectation of they must communicate like at a high level for them, that eliminates like a whole bunch of barriers for me when it comes to actually managing my tenants.
Absolutely. And back to gifting. So it's not just your tenants you want to gift to. You got to think about your investors and your team, whatever your team might be. So for your investors, don't cheap out.
Nope.
They're the ones keeping you afloat. Take them out for a nice fancy dinner, or maybe dinner, live theater, or better yet, find out what your investors like
Yeah.
and take them there. Maybe it's golfing, maybe it's a hockey game, like whatever they like, they're going to love it even more if you're gifting it to them or going with them and spending that time with them. Remember, they bring a lot of money to the table and they should be celebrated.
Yeah, and you get that experience style gift that actually builds your relationship with your investors. So they will be apt to refer you. They'll be wanting to like perhaps bring more money to the table when you when they have more money to bring to the table. So by building that relationship with them even stronger than it was when you first started a like the financial relationship with them, that'll just expand everything about the environment around how you guys interact and how the relationship operates.
Absolutely. And then don't forget your team. And that, I mean, obviously we're talking real estate investing because that's our game, but regardless of where your team is. So if you're an entrepreneur and you have staff, or if you're an employee and you have staff, or if you're on a board, you do volunteer work and you have a board like I do. Um, I got gift cards for all my board members this holiday season, and I do it with a nice thank you card I write out, and that's just my way of thanking them for all the time they've given to this association over the year. And I do the same for my team where I work. And I don't necessarily give them all gift cards, but I will do a gathering and I will bring in goodies and treats and book it during work hours. So they also get paid to meet up, but they get to know their teammate better as well as myself better. And it just builds a better all around collaboration, communication through the team.
And they really appreciate it. It from their perspective, it looks like you're looking out for them. So they're throughout the year, they're going to give back to you again. That you reciprocate first, and then they want to give back, right?
100%. And I've been doing this for years. And I especially do little, what I call shout out thank you cards. And I'd put usually like, again, a $10 gift card to a coffee shop or something in it when someone went above and beyond or went out of their way for one of my projects. And I remember the first few times I did it, they looked at me, they're like, wow, I've been here for 10, 15 years and no one has ever given me a card, never mind a gift card, like even a handwritten card. And man, let me tell you, that's paid in dividends.
Yeah.
They, hands down, anytime I needed help, they were the first to show up because they knew I truly appreciated their effort.
Yeah. And you can do this throughout the year. It can be the little shout outs throughout the year, the little gift cards throughout the year. I make sure as a point in my emails to a lot of our service providers to point out what they are doing right and how much I appreciate what they're doing, because to them it might just seem like a job. But if they fixed, if they fixed my leaky tap in like record time with no issues, and I didn't even have to show up at the property because they were really helpful to my tenants, that is a massive service for me, and I make sure, like, whether it's a text message or an email, that they know about it. And like you just said, it pays dividends. So now I get to the top of their list when it's an emergency and I need to call one of my service providers. I have, like, air quotes, priority service, because I'm giving with thanks and appreciation throughout the year in order to, like, make sure that they understand, like, I really truly appreciate their service. And to me, it's not just a job, right? It's not just a job they're doing. It is a value add to me in my life.
Absolutely. And it's the same thing with the team, right? And I do that as well, like a showing appreciation or do a shout out and a thank you, especially if there's something they've gone out of their way. It might literally just be a one on one, and I'll thank them and let them know how much I appreciated the style of how they might have communicated something. And that just lets them know that I'm watching and learning and realizing and supporting them. And that opens up the door for more communication with me for them.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then lastly, let's not forget ourselves.
Yeah, you
We
always do.
we always put ourselves last, and we always say don't forget to celebrate. And well, of course, we believe you should do this throughout the year, not just at the end of the year. And I know we do. We go out for dinners, celebrating when we close on a deal or when we sold the property, whatever it may be. We try to do what we call a small win, although they might not always be small. But even around Christmas, like doing something with our family. So yes, you want to celebrate yourself for all the work you've done, but also your family because they either were there to support you, if not like physically, maybe emotionally or mentally, they were there, or they watched what you went through and they want to celebrate and know what you've done as well.
Yeah, like for our kids, we're going to a hot destination this right before Christmas, essentially. And we're making it quite clear to our kids, like, hey, you know what? Like, we're going here because real estate put us here. Like, we're aiming to pay ourselves and, like, appreciate the work that it went into our real estate portfolio in order to get us to the point where that portfolio can now pay for vacations.
Yep.
And so we're ingraining it into our kids, like, early, that, you need to treat yourself. Like, why are you in the real estate game, which is can be hard, and without actually paying yourself? Because we know personally, for years we did that. Like, we kept all the money squirreled away into our real estate portfolio, made sure we, like, had it nice protected for the future, but we never really took anything to pay ourselves for all the work that we did. And over the years, our mindset changed, and now we're making sure that, like, we are valuing ourselves and our work through paying ourselves out of that real estate portfolio.
Yeah. And this vacation is just, some time to take away for our family. It's just the four of us going for about 10 days, and all inclusive where I don't have to do any work. But we're spending a lot of time with our boys, and that's to show them firstly that the real estate is paying this. This is because of real estate. This is why we're here. But also as a thank you to show them like we know there are days where I'll hear my oldest be like, "You're always on your computer working, mommy." And it's like, yeah, I know, son, I got some deliverables due, right? And but just to show them that like sometimes this hard work pays off. And here now, mommy and daddy have a whole week to 10 days to spend with you guys
Yeah.
uninterrupted.
Yeah. And they get roped into having to come to rental properties, which they don't really like all that much. So it's nice to just say, hey, you know what? I know I had to drag you out. And here's why I had to drag you out, because this is the result. We get to go on this vacation.
Yeah. Thank you for helping us and supporting us. And as you get older, we will ask you for more support, but
Yeah.
you get to reap the rewards of what this produces.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So absolutely do not forget yourself. You got to take care of yourself first. Put your own oxygen mask on first, as they say, before you go and help anybody else out. So make sure you take care of yourself.
Yeah. And the most important takeaway we want to discuss to wrap up this year, I guess for this episode, mine is have an attitude of gratitude always. And I find that if you're grateful, regardless of your situation or where you are, people can see it and they appreciate it way more than I think sometimes we understand.
hmm My key takeaway for this episode is just find a way to make giving part of your investment. It will pay you back tenfold as you give.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Listen for more real estate investing stories in the next episode of the Life by Design podcast.
Before you go, don't forget to visit weekendwealth.ca to take our quiz and discover what type of real estate investor you are. We release new episodes every 2 weeks, so be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Thank you for joining us on this journey to create your life by design.
Thanks again for listening. It's been a pleasure being with you today.